Here's the problem with meta ads that most D2C brands I speak to suffer from. You're launching 5, 10, maybe 20 new creatives a week on Meta, but most of them die within 72 hours, and the ones that work just barely break even. And the one winner you found 6 months ago is just finally showing fatigue. You're scrambling to replace it before your entire ad account collapses. But meanwhile, you watch your competitors just scale past you with what looks like simple iPhone footage, and you wonder, what the hell do they know that I don't? I'm Jacob Sunoka. I run 10XROAS, which is a leading creative agency working with over 180 DTC brands, and we help them scale meta ads with performance-driven ads that we create for them. Here is the truth that nobody in the performance marketing world wants to admit, and that is that 98% of ad creative fails because you're guessing what your customers want. You see, there's a reason why some brands can launch a $47 ceramic mug and scale to $10 million in 18 months, while others just burn through $500,000 testing angles that never connect. It has nothing to do with having just better video editors or different media buying setup or even bigger budgets. The difference is that they discovered what actually makes their customers buy before spending a single dollar on creative production. And I'm about to show you exactly how they do this. So when we launched our creative agency 10XROAS in 2021, that was just right before and around the iOS 14 era. And 4 years ago, at that time, we were just another creative agency churning out scroll-stopping content. It was beautiful videos, trending formats, all the best practices that the gurus preached and that was trendy back in 2021. And our clients were losing money, and we were about to lose one of our clients specifically. It was a supplement brand doing around $3 million a year, but they were just stuck there for 18 months. And that's when we stumbled onto something that would eventually generate $130 million in trackable revenue across 180 plus brands that we work with. And instead of starting with creative ideas, we just went much deeper. We spent 14 hours reading 3,000 of their customer reviews, not skimming, but actually reading and taking notes, looking for patterns. Then, as the second step, we hit Reddit, found 47 different threads where people just discussed lack of energy, which was their main product category. And we copied every comment, analyzed the language, the fears, the failed solutions that they've tried. And what we discovered really changed everything for us. Their customers weren't buying energy support, which we thought they were, but they were actually buying the ability to be the parent that they promised themselves they'd be when they got home from work. And it turns out these parents didn't really care about sustained energy or no crash formula or any other features and benefits that we try to point out in our ads. But they were devastated that they'd snap at their kids for wanting to play, and then they would just feel guilty all night. They call it their 5:30 shame spiral, which we found on the Reddit. And they are just too exhausted to be present and too guilty to just enjoy rest. And so that single insight led to one of the videos that we created for them that scaled to 6 figures in ad spend profitably. And not because it was beautifully shot, not because we used the latest TikTok trend, but because we finally understood what their customers actually wanted, and more importantly, how they talked about it in their own words. And so here's the creative strategy system that we've perfected after creating over 40,000 video ads. Since that breakthrough, we've refined the process into a more systematic approach that uncovers these golden insights for any brand in any niche selling any product. Where we start is customer reviews analysis. That usually takes us around 2 hours. And we export and analyze every single customer review from your store. Not with just some generic AI prompt that you would just send to ChatGPT, but we use actually a framework that we have to identify the exact phrases customers use to describe their transformation, hidden objections that kill conversions that they would never actually tell you directly, emotional triggers that made them finally click buy, specific use cases you never knew existed, word for word testimonials that then became $1 million scripts. And that is because some people will actually write their entire story in the reviews, and these can become your script templates, and they are the most authentic story-driven ads you can create. One client discovered their customers weren't buying their posture corrector for back pain, as we thought, but they were buying it to look more confident in Zoom meetings. And so that insight alone just generated $2.3 million in revenue. The second step of our research and creative strategy is we prepare deep audience research. That usually takes us 3 hours. And what we do is, while your competitors guess what their audience wants, we research the exact places where your audience complains, seeks advice, shares experiences. So where we research is Reddit threads, as I mentioned, and every relevant subreddit, TikTok and Instagram comments, competitor ad comments, Facebook group discussions, Amazon reviews of alternatives and your competitors, niche forums and communities. And what we are trying to document with this approach is the exact complaint language that they use when speaking about competitors, the trust issues with your category that they feel, failed solutions they tried, the moment they realize they need a solution, objection to stop them from buying, how they describe their pain when no one is selling to them. And we document their exact language, their specific frustrations, their secret desires, the words they use when nobody's trying to sell them something. And that's why the forums and all of these kind of places where the audience spends their time is just super valuable. The third step is we prepare customer personas, which takes us about 1 hour. And we use insights from our research to determine 5 detailed customer personas. Not just some generic demographics that don't tell you anything. You actually need a complete psychological profiles based on actual behavior patterns. And so each persona includes demographics that actually matter, not just women 25 to 45, daily routine where your product fits in, specific life situation driving their needs, values and beliefs affecting purchases, social proof requirements, price sensitivity triggers, preferred communication styles, and any other kind of valuable info that you can have for each persona. So for example, instead of millennial moms, which most brands claim that is their target audience, you want to get to more of a Sarah, 34, remote marketing manager, 2 kids under 5, orders groceries at 10 p.m. while watching Netflix, feels guilty about screen time but needs it to survive until bedtime, values products that make her feel like a good mom without extra effort. So that's how much in detail you want to go with it. And these are not fictional characters, but more of a data-driven personas of your actual buyers with specific messaging guidelines for each, because you want to create 5 detailed personas, and to each of them, you want to speak in different language and different tone. The fourth one is customer pain points, which we spend usually an hour on. And we map every problem that your customers face and rank them by emotional intensity and market size. This is not what you think bothers them, but it's really what actually keeps them up at night. So you really want to get in depth in there. And so how we categorize these is surface pain, what they say, true pain, which is what they actually mean, emotional weight, how much it bothers them, frequency, how often they experience it, and market size, how many people share this pain. An example structure is, for example, loss of control, I can't stop reaching for it. Social judgment, people think I'm lazy. Identity conflict, this isn't who I want to be. Failed attempts, nothing else has worked. And you will receive a pain point matrix with exact customer language, plus recommendations on which to prioritize and creative. For example, for a snack brand, we discovered the deepest pain wasn't unhealthy ingredients as we thought, but it was, I feel like I'm failing my kids when I give them these. And so that shift from feature, which was ingredients, to emotion, which is more of a parental guilt, we tripled their conversion rate. So that's how we can actually put the research and the customer problems into use. Fifth is customer desired outcomes. We identify the specific transformations your customers are actually seeking. And so not really what you think they want, but their primary outcome, what they say they want, their hidden outcome, what they actually want, their emotional outcome, how they want to feel, and their social outcome, how they want to be perceived. And you receive an outcome map with messaging angles for each desire, before and after frameworks, and transformation language. For example, customer says they want better sleep, but actually they want to stop being irritable with their kids in the morning. So that's how much you kind of want to understand the exact transformation that they want to experience. Sixth, customer misconceptions. We document false beliefs that your audience has about your product category that might prevent them from purchasing or just causing them to be disappointed. Common patterns we find is category misconceptions. So for example, all supplements are the same. Process misconceptions, it should work immediately. Usage misconceptions, more is better. Probably with supplements, people might think that. Result misconceptions, this will solve everything. Price misconceptions, expensive means better. And we outline each of these misconceptions with creative angles to address them. Seventh is customer objections. So we document every reason customers do not buy with specific language to overcome each one, pulled from customers who had the same doubts. So objection categories are trust barriers. How do I know this works? It could be price resistance. Is it worth it? Urgency gaps. Do I need this now? Skepticism triggers. This seems too good to be true. Comparison confusion. How is this different? And risk concerns. What if it doesn't work for me? And we don't guess at objections. We actually document them from actual customer conversations, then find the exact words that overcome them. And you receive an objection handling matrix with proven responses, social proof requirements, and language that converts. The eighth is product briefs. We create strategic positioning that transform product features into emotional benefits that your customers actually care about. And each brief includes product features and benefits breakdown, unique mechanism, so that's your unfair advantage, proof elements required, so what makes them believe, best use cases to highlight, transformation timeline, so setting real expectations, price justification angles, competition positioning, and these are psychological blueprints for making your products irresistible to your specific audience. Ninth is social media research. This takes about 2 hours. And we analyze what's actually working in your space right now. So not what worked 6 months ago or what gurus say should work for your market. And what we analyze is top performing organic content. That is usually TikTok and Instagram, and competitor ads that are scaling, common patterns on viral videos, trending formats in your niche, hooks that are getting attention, and native language that they are using in their videos and content. And so this isn't really about copying what works, which might be a common misconception that people think, I'll just take this video that is working, do it for my brand, and it's going to be a winner. But you want to understand the current trends in your market, kind of take the insights from it, and then determine your creative strategy. And the last part is creative ideas. We spend on this usually from 2 to 3 hours. And we deliver 10 specific research-backed concepts ready for production. So not random ideas that a VA might come up with, but a strategic concepts born from everything we've learned about your customer from this research. And each concept includes format, so UGC, founder story, demonstration, hook options based on research, core angle and positioning, script frameworks, and testing priority, because you need to know which concepts are the lowest hanging fruit that you should test first. For example, day in the life showing specific persona's routine. It could be a Reddit confession using actual forum language. It could be misconception buster addressing category confusion. It could be transformation timeline with realistic expectations, and behind the scenes building trust. These are not templates. So the core here, the purpose is not to have templates you can copy, but the actual custom concepts that are designed specifically for your audience, using their language, addressing their pains, promising their desired outcomes that they are seeking. Now, we can have our team help you prepare this winning creative strategy for you so you can focus on scaling and not researching. You could spend the next 2 weeks trying to do this research yourself, and that's completely fine with me. You can learn the frameworks, analyze thousands of reviews, look through Reddit threads at 2 a.m., and try to put everything together into something actionable. Or you can also have our team, the same creative strategists that have scaled 180 plus DTC brands that we work with and generated $130 million in trackable revenue, do this for you in the next 5 days. And so if you think the second option is better for you and want our team to help, here's exactly how that works. So today, the next step for you is to click below this video on the button there, complete a payment, and then we will redirect you to our quick onboarding form where you tell us more about your brand before we start with our research. In the next 4 days, our creative strategists will dive deeper into your customer psychology using the exact process you just kind of listened about and that we just went through. And on day 5, you will receive all creative strategy materials in an easy to read and understand format. You will be ready to brief any creator, implement with your team internally, or just hand over to your agency. And the investment for this entire process and the output is $367. It's one time, no recurring fees, no upsells. That's less than you actually pay a junior freelancer to create one video that probably will not work, and a fraction of what agencies charge for surface level strategy that really tells you nothing. So who this is for and who should just stop watching this video now. The creative strategy is perfect for you if you're spending at least $5,000 a month on meta ads, and you have a product people want but cannot really scale ads consistently, you want a systematic approach to creative, not random testing. You understand that one winning angle can transform your business, and you're tired of guessing with what messages will resonate. And this is not for you if you want a magic bullet that works without implementation. You think creative doesn't matter if your product is good enough. You're not willing to test the concepts we find, and you're below $100,000 in annual revenue. And I think in that case, you just need basics first, not really advanced strategy and deep research. You just need to find something at the start to kind of prove your business is worth it. So if you're below 100,000 in annual revenue, this might not really be a best fit for you. So we can only handle 5 of these deep dives per week because we actually have our team of creative strategists work on this while they work on our other clients that we manage the entire production for. When you're ready to stop guessing and start knowing, your strategy is one click away. There's no sales calls, there's no discovery sessions, no fluff. It's just $367 for the exact research and strategy that's generated $130 million for brands just like yours. And this is not another brand audit. We've seen the 47 slide PowerPoints that agencies charge $5,000 for, the ones filled with stock photos, buzzwords that really tell you nothing actionable. But this is different. So you're getting the actual research, the raw data, the specific insights, the word for word language that your customers use. Every material we create is based on thousands of hours analyzing what actually works, real customer language, not marketer speak, data patterns, not creative hunches, and proven frameworks refined across 180 plus brands, all organized into clear, actionable documents that you can hand to any creator, copywriter, or video editor and immediately start producing winning ads.